Hello, my name is Casey Salyers. I am a fifth grade math and science teacher at W.R. Castle Elementary in Johnson County. And my project is titled Engage Your Brain by Doodling in Class. My project, the idea for it actually came this summer as I was preparing my class for the upcoming school year. And a very important part of my classroom has always been our math journal. Students keep track of their notes within their math journal. And I laid out all 6 years' worth of composition notebooks in front of me, and I noticed something very intriguing. The first few journals were very teacher-directed. I was giving the information, they were writing it down. And as the years went on, it became more student-led. So this year, what I wanted to do was make their journal more student-created. That way they are vested in that journal. So my focus was, will the use of doodle notes and sketchnoting in class improve student retention of knowledge? Research tells us that doodling is actually a form of mnemonics connecting images with information and significantly increasing our ability to remember what we've learned. And I've also researched about sketchnoting, and that's mainly what we focused on. Sketchnoting involves writing, it involves drawing, and it also involves doodling. We know we all have those students that draw little hearts and squigglies on their paper. That's the doodling part. But what the sketchnoting actually does is it connects more types of learning together. So we're getting those visual learners, and we're, making sure that they're engaged with what they're doing. My plan was to create parts of the sketch note. So with my iPad, what I did was I used the app called Drawing Desk. And I'll just show you real quick. I was able to just draw really quickly, just like the title of the topic we were studying. So one part of the title was the least common multiple. So what I would do is just draw the bubble letters, because bubble letters are kind of hard, and then I would print that off for the students. I wanted to make sure that the students had as much of their writing on it as I can. So I also connected this to their Google Classroom, so if they were absent that day or if they needed to reprint it so in case they lost it, they were able to connect to their Google Classroom and print it off from there. And I'm also able to take my screen and show this wirelessly through my Apple TV onto my TV in the classroom. So I could be in the back of the classroom or anywhere in the classroom, and they can see what I'm writing. As they're doing their doodle, I'm also doing mine on the TV screen. So for the actual research, I had a traditional note-taking. The students just copied their notes, and then we took a little quiz. And then they completed their doodle notes, their sketchnoting. And I just have a few examples. Some got a little bit more colorful with their doodles. Some kept it plain. But the main thing that I had them to do was write in pencil first and then go back over their letters with color, and then they can go in and doodle and color. And I always had them to connect some type of a visual with it. So the visual for this lesson, it was the least common multiple, is to create a large M and then put their multiples inside, M for multiple. Not to be confused with the F for factors that we drew on a separate doodle note. So those are just some examples that they did. And while they're spending their time really working hard on creating their doodle note, they're connecting both sides of their brain. They're connecting their left side and their right side in hopes that they are going to retain more information. And what I found, the first graph here is the results from their traditional note-taking. And the average score was a 22%. And this covered skills from
I mainly kept it for vocabulary. So we did factors, we did multiples, least common multiple, greatest common factor, simplifying fractions, finding common denominators. Those were the sketch notes that we completed. And the traditional note-taking, it was an average of 22%. After we did our sketch notes, we took a quiz, and our results was an average of a 63%. So we had a growth of 41%. So as we can see, the results do show us that it does make an impact on their learning and their retention of their knowledge. The sketchnoting average wasn't as high as I would hope for it to have been. Some implications of that could have been, not enough time spent on it. So if I were to do this again, I would ensure that I would take a quiz over each individual skill instead of lumping all of our concepts together. And maybe we would have a better outcome of our results. And that is all. Do we have any questions?